Brooks Brothers polo I wear. You can tell it's a Brooks Brothers by the sleeve. And I'm wearing this with striped slacks and dress shoes. Now another option to wear is you could put these shoes instead of these dress shoes, take it more to a business casual look by changing out the shoes. Then you can also use chino pants with these shoes. Those also would be that chino pants with these shoes would be a casual look. Now chino pants with these shoes would be a business casual, and then this would be a business attire. So I opt to wear the business attire. And as I said, other options are Nike or Port Authority. Also great options. This is not a paid endorsement. I paid for these shirts myself. So I purchased these. Now you can find these shirts in the Wise Business Development Corp site, and you can order those and you can get your logo put on them. Now there's Nike, and there's Port Authority, and then there's Brooks Brothers. I personally go for Brooks Brothers because it's a traditional brand, and I wanted a traditional brand. Nike is more of a sporty brand. Port Authority is more of a business brand. So that's the way I classify it. Business brand, sport brand, and then sophisticated brand. I personally align Brooks Brothers with sophistication. Now, all three shirts are great. That's just my personal classification. That's not an industry classification or anybody else's classification. I also wear Brooks Brothers dress shirts, and you'll be able to see that by, let me bring that up, and you can see the tag inside there being a Brooks Brothers. You can see this is an 1818. This is a nail head model, and it is a very good shirt. I like the pattern. Let me bring it up really close so that you can see it. You'll see you'll be able to see that there's depth to it. I consider that more of a 3D. It's called a nail head. It brings, to me, a higher quality look to it. These are also, made option is a Port Authority option. I went with the Brooks Brothers being traditional. Now, the nail head, I think, is a very high quality. There's the regular Brooks Brothers that is not the nail head model. Those are great also, but I went with this because I think it really stands out, makes it look really sharp. Now I could change this out and wear this tucked in, which would be a very sophisticated look, which I can put this on really quick. I'll put it on over the polo because I don't want to start and stop the video. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here. And I'm just going to be a little bit lazy. I'm not going to unbutton it fully. I'm just going to slip it on, as you can see. And then I'm going to button it up, and I'll put the polo collar down a little bit. Then I'm going to tuck this in. And about got it tucked. And it's not perfect, but we're good enough. So you can see this is very, very sharp. It looks very sharp. I bought this in every color also. The 1818 nail head. Just spectacular. When I looked at the showroom for it, these just stood out. There's the regular dress shirt polo. That is the traditional. Those are great, look wonderful also. I just like that there's a little bit more in this pattern. And that I termed it as glossy and matte. Matte, traditional dress. Glossy is this little small design. It's not very noticeable, but I think it really makes it look sharp. There's also, you don't have to go with Brooks Brothers, you can go with Port Authority. They're great options also. Great quality. I went with Brooks Brothers because it's traditional. And as you can see, very, very sharp. You can see it's just really a wonderful shirt. I just love it personally. So that's why I went with it. If you're wanting these, this is a nailhead 1818 Brooks Brothers. You can head over to the corporate site, Wise Business Development Corp. You can order it, have your logo put on it, just like I have here. With, you know, it won't be the Wise Business Development Corp logo. Sorry, that's for Wise Business Development Corp. It'll be your logo. If you want to put some design on it, you can put it on. We can get it embroidered. Wonderful quality, really stands out sharp. Really, if you're in a room presenting, you look at this, it comes across really great. You're on a stage, it's a great presentation. This really stands out, looks sharp. There's a Port Authority option also, a great alternative. So Port Authority, if you are having trouble finding it, need any help, fill out the contact form on the site. We'll be happy to guide you through it. We're a custom shop. So we do custom business development. Dress is part of business development. Your image matters and you want to look sharp and professional. That's why I went with Brooks Brothers. It's traditional and it's sharp and it has a history of long years of it. So Port Authority, great option. I've had those, but I wanted to really step it up. So that's why I went with this. So you see these are great shoes. You see this comes across great. Now I could change these shoes out to more of a shoe like this, and you can see how that would look there. That would still be pretty sharp. It would not be as dressy. It would be dressy, but it would be toned down. But this is really dressy. Now I could basically put these shoes with the chino pants and that would look pretty good. It would look a business casual. It would look a sharp business casual. So these are options, and a lot of people I've noticed are having trouble finding these options and knowing what goes well together. A lot of people don't know slacks can go with the polo and everything, so don't know that you could basically have a toned down type dress shoe that isn't quite a dress shoe, not quite a tennis shoe, and that would go well too. So let me go ahead and change these out for you so that you can see them and everything. So I'm going to take these off and I'm going to put these on so that you can see how this goes. And there we go. Got to tie the shoelace just to get it out of the way really quickly. So here we go. Just tying that shoelace, and then we'll tuck this one out of the way because we're trying to get it done quickly. And you can see how that goes down a little bit. So that works. I like the more dressy, but if you wanted to dress down a little bit, not so, you know, formal, then you could go with that option. So those are great options for you, and they're just the options I use. So I just have been seeing that a lot of people don't know their options, you know. Like I said, in the polo, you've got, you know, the Brooks Brothers, you've got the Nike, and then you've got Port Authority. So all great, great options. All wonderful products, all wonderful, wonderful stuff to be wearing. I just went with the Brooks Brothers. I like the more traditional and history, and so my pants and everything else, I also go with the traditional brand, and more conservative. So that's just my style. So your style may be different, but this is a great corporate look. It looks great. You could be up here presenting in this, and as you can see, I look pretty good in this. That's why I went with the Brooks Brothers, and I went with the nail head because it really is sharp. It's noticeable sharp. So I'm a little biased personally because I just like it, and we all got our styles, but this really gives the image of what I am. It's basically showing quality and longevity, and it's showing that it is there to stay. So that's why I aligned with the Brooks Brothers. But like I said, in the dress shirts, Port Authority, great quality, great still. So you can't go wrong with either one. Again, polos, Brooks Brothers, Nike, Port Authority. Can't go wrong. They're all great options. Again, nobody's paying to endorse this. No paid endorsement. Nobody paid for these shirts except me. This came out of my pocket. As I said, I've got this in every single color. And again, I've got the polo in every single color. They are great quality. I love it. And that's why I have them. Now, I'm hoping that helps you out a little bit because people are looking for a professional image, and presenting that professional image for your business is extremely important. That's what Wise Business Development Corp is here to help you with.